So I want to kind of talk to you about, I feel like there's somebody out there or many out there that are really struggling and wondering when all the bad things are going to end. And this is somebody that's on a chosen path. This is a light worker, a star seed. You resonate with the chosen path. And what I feel like I'm guided to talk to is someone out there that is feeling like they're being attacked, that they've lost everything and everyone in their life, and they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anyone to talk to. They feel like they're blocked from spirit. They feel like they're not getting the messages. You don't know whether you're talking to God or Satan half the time. Anyone who's feeling like that, this message is for you. Just know that a lot of times there's tests, whether you believe in God or, Jesus or the universe or whatever it is, right? Know this is that sometimes we go through times where we go through this blank space where we're not hearing from anyone, right? And a lot of times it's supposed to teach you to be stronger and to basically, they're testing you whether you can use your discernment, meaning trusting people, trusting the wrong people, making the right decisions based on everything that's ever happened to you, what everybody's done to you. Are you going to go back to your dark ways again, your addictions, your negative thinking, your beliefs? Just know that you're always being tested, okay? God or whoever you believe in is never going to leave you, even though it feels like it, okay? The one thing that really screwed with me, and I feel like this is what Jesus went through, is that if you believe that God is a man, right? And that God is energy or whatever it is, but if you believe, because sometimes it's presented to people in this way, is that you're being judged by God and that God will leave you at any time and that God will punish you for, doing this and punishing you for this and punishing you for this, right? You need to get out of that mindset because that is the devil. If you believe that you are being punished by God, that is Satan making you feel that way. It's a wound. It's like a father wound or a parent wound or an abandonment wound that they're trying to give you, but they're using God to do that to you. Do not fall for that, because I fell for that, and I'm not lying to you. I feel like I almost died because I was basically thinking that God left me, and because everybody in my entire life left me, and now God, like, I'm done. I want to take myself out off this planet. So right now, if I'm speaking to somebody that feels lost, you don't know when this is going to be over. When are you going to receive your breakthrough? What am I doing something wrong? Did God leave me? Why can't I hear from my guides? Why am I not getting the messages? Know this. It's testing your strength. We have to be tested because the path that we're going to be on, we got to know, we have to have discernment to know whether we're dealing with somebody that is has ill intentions for us. If someone is demonically possessed, that's sent to us to destroy us. Hold on, let me get my cat. I don't know what my cat is doing. She's freaking out. Sorry. Like, we don't know, see, and we get distracted too. It's like we're constantly being distracted. Just know this, that is an attempt by demonic forces, is keeping us away from our purpose, keeping us so distracted that we're not praying, keeping us so distracted that we're so worried that we're creating more worries in our life. It can also, they like to cause delusions for us. That's a huge thing. And so a lot of times spirit will leave us because they want us to be able to discern between what's evil and when they're present, right? When our team is present. And they'll let the attacks happen because A, you're going to need to learn how to defend yourself against these attacks. And B, you're going to need to learn to decipher who you're speaking to, whether it's God's voice or it's Satan's voice or your own voice. So a lot of times they let you experience certain things so that A, okay, this is what I experienced. This sucked. I thought it was God speaking to me. I went and did this. I made the mistake. I went down this wrong path and now I'm paying for it and I'm just so sad and broken, whatever, right? And then you make a better decision. You know, you're going, I ain't going down that again. And you choose another one where you're feeling better and you feel like you're seeing signs and synchronicities and all this stuff. And you're suddenly like, oh, wait, this is different. I feel different. And that's how you know you're on the right path. How you know you're on the right path is when you feel good about it, when the decision doesn't scare you or give you anxiety, when you start seeing signs and synchronicities in numbers and birds, you know, and certain things, then you'll know that you're on the right path, right? So a lot of times they'll let us experience certain things. So when the time comes, when we are in our purpose, that we'll be able to decipher between who it is that's guiding us. Because the closer that you get to your purpose, your breakthrough, your deliverance, is when you're going to be attacked heavy with spiritual warfare, with witchcraft, demonic forces, everything. Everything, because they want to take that away from you. They don't want you to remember who you are, why you're here. They want you done. So going through all of this and just learning from it, the biggest thing I learned was I got in victim mode. I was like, why are you doing this to me, God? And, you know, and crying and, you know, and then crying about how everybody left me and how everybody attacked me and I lost everything and everyone, you know. And I was in victim mode. And the divine was like, we're not going to have that. You can't be into victim mode when you're doing your purpose. So we're going to need to, you know, and it'll prolong. It'll prolong. And you will have to go through the same cycle over and over and over again. And if you're not obedient, and I hate that word, but it's basically the divine saying, okay, we need you to let go of this person. You know, like they were telling me, I need to let go of my child. My child, I don't know if you've heard my story, went against me, went with a cult. And I was feeling so guilty because there were ways I felt I had neglected her, which made her go towards the cult. There were all these things that I had done, and I felt like the cult was like, you know, taking her away, and it wasn't her fault. But again, you know, I'm realizing later that she has her own path. She could have been an actual soul tie, which is something that you're never supposed to be with again. And it's hard, you know, but you have to let things go, because if you hold on to the past, then you will sit in the same cycle over and over again until you learn, until you listen to what they're telling you, because it's only for your own good. And I wouldn't listen, and I kept going through over and over and over again. And there's still things that I need to let go. You know, things that you need to let go. Any soul tie item that you have, if it's a wedding ring from marriage that didn't go well, you need to get rid of it. Any pictures of anyone that has done you dirty needs to go. Any, you know, witchcraft items, if it's that. But, you know, for me, it's basically I need to let go of the past. I need to let go of things that were connected to the people that did bad things to me in the past. There's like, obviously, my thoughts and feelings. I need to let go and forgive it. I kept trying to help my daughter in certain ways. I've been worried about her, and I'd reach out and on my, you know, my social media, knowing she watches it, and send messages to her. And they're just like, she's not, you know, we're going to have to do this again. And so they would put me in another hotel room where these people are attacking me with witchcraft and energy weapons. And, you know, there's also some things too that we don't know that we're holding on to from our childhood that we have to let go too, because when you get into your purpose, you have to be completely gutted. And there's going to be so many times where you're going to think, okay, yeah, okay, I forgave that person, but they know what's inside of your heart. And if you can say that, but they know that you haven't, then you're going to have to sit in the same cycle until you finally let go. And then until you get out of victim mode, until you get out of holding on to the past. So if I'm speaking to somebody that feels they're so alone, you feel like you've been left out, you feel like you've lost everything, and you don't even feel like the divine is there for you, just know that this is supposed to teach you to be able to sit in silence and to trust yourself and to trust that you are okay, that you are protected. They didn't leave you. But you got to be used to being alone. You got to be used to getting off your social media, getting off other devices. Like I had it, constantly needed to know the outcome, constantly. And so I would get punished. And punished in a way is like, it would be like, okay, well then you're going to have to sit in the same cycle that you hate if you don't let go of this. And I would, and I wouldn't learn the lesson. And I just kept doing it. So just know that like, it's tough love, but you signed up for it. And it's training. So don't feel alone. Use this time of loneliness to pray, to get in the Word, the Bible. If you are on the chosen path, you got to really understand Jesus and why Jesus was the way he was, and that everything needs to be led with love. And I'm telling you, like, I started the Bible late, so a lot of it wasn't resonating with my journey, although some was. I would open the book sometimes and I'd be like, whoa, this is what I'm going through. And it would resonate and it would make sense. And I'd be like, oh. But basically, they kept saying, how do you know your God is speaking to you? And they would say, if it's not in his word, it's not him. And I'd be like, what's that supposed to mean? But when you would read the Bible, you're like, oh, I get it. You have to follow with love. And the choices that you make have to come from the heart, like your mind, body, and soul. But it's literally like how to know it's the right choice. Is it in the word? Does it follow love? Does it follow the path of righteousness? A lot of times too, like God knew that I started late, and so I was asking like, well, what area of the Bible is this in? So that I know what's going through. And they started sending me certain parts of the Bible. There's a bunch of people that have channels that are of the Bible, and Bible study. And so they would send me certain people that were doing this, and it would be certain parts of the Bible that I wouldn't even have known. And now I'm watching it and I'm going, oh, this resonates with me, right? Do that. The biggest thing I could say to you right now is use this alone time to get into the Bible, start praying, getting used to prayer. Don't do it forced, as I did, because I never read the Bible. So I was like, okay, I'll read the Bible, okay, I'll pray. And I'm still with prayer. Like, I think I watched a video one time and it says how to pray to God. Don't pray at God. Like, talk to God. So it has to be something like to where you sit in total silence and you're kind of like, you're relaxed and you're like, hey, right? It's quiet. There's no distractions. And you're just talking to God. And it's much more peaceful that way. The spiritual warfare is attacking you because they're trying to teach you how to not defend, but protect yourself. You need to learn how to protect yourself because the more you go on this path, the demons are stronger and harder. Think about in the Bible, Peter and all, these apostles and disciples were literally like constantly fighting demons, constantly delivering demons, constantly dealing with judgment, constantly dealing with being jailed and ridiculed and all this crazy stuff, right? And it's just, it's out of control. So I would say, if you're feeling lonely, don't. Read the Bible, start reading the Bible, start praying, and just meditate. Meditate is so great. When you're quiet and you're away from things, that's when you'll start getting these nudges of like, encouragement, from your guides and from God, and, and they'll send you messages in certain ways just to be like, don't worry, it's just a test, but just know that those times are hard and they hurt, because it's like, well, don't leave me now because I lost everybody. And just know that they're just trying to get you used to being okay with being alone, because it's hard. This cat, I'm talking about distractions. You're going to get distracted everywhere. And it's just the devil. It's Satan literally trying to distract you from your purpose, distract you from prayer, distract you from doing your channel that you're supposed to be helping other people with, distracting you from everything, right? Now, in regards to demonic, where I was receiving demonic attacks, like demonic attachments, demonic entities, this cult was throwing crap at me nonstop. And just know that's teaching you how to get into deliverance, self-deliverance, get into listening to more to deliverant prayers, getting more into getting into the word. Obviously demons don't like prayers. They don't like the Bible. They don't, want you to read the Bible. They don't want you to do anything of love and light. And eventually you will get delivered. But again, you have to go through all these trials and tribulations. So in this aspect, I'm speaking to someone that is going through a time where you feel like everybody, even God, left you. And this is just a test of your endurance, a test of your faith. The only thing that's going to get you through this is your faith in God, that God's got you. If you fear, you're going to create fear in your life. Just go, you know what? No matter what I'm going through right now, I know I'm protected. I know I'm safe as long as I pray, as long as I use my due diligence, my discernment and all of this stuff. Use what I've learned so far, and then protect my energy and get away from people that God told me to get away from a long time ago. So don't feel alone. Don't be alone. You're not alone. I promise you, you're not alone. I've been there where I wanted to just die. And then I think a video would pop up and it would say, how do you know you're close to your breakthrough or something? It was like a prayer video on YouTube. And I would watch it and it would told me, when you feel isolated and alone, you don't hear God, and that's how I knew. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. Thank you. I thought you left me, He didn't leave you. It's so hard. But if you can, in your mind, think, you know what? I signed up for this. I got to keep going. I got to do this. And find a community of other people. It'll help you to know you're not alone, even when you are alone. So just for you, you can always comment on here, and I'll always comment back. Just know that this is for your good, your higher self. It's in order to connect to your higher self eventually. And it's to test your endurance. It's to test your faith. Like, even though I'm going through hell right now, I have faith that I'm going to come out. The sun's going to come out, and there's God going, okay, you made it. Yay. They're all cheering for you, right? And always ask too, God, what is it I need to let go? God, where am I not? What am I not doing right? What can I do to be closer to you? Ask, and they will guide you. I promise you. Okay. It's a hard journey. And some of us chose harder, and mine was dealing with cults, witchcraft, like demonic attachments, demonic possession, being gang stalked, targeted, put in an illegal case study, under illegal surveillance, being set up by my family and the government and police officers. It's like, no, I can't do this. And things started to get a little better when all of a sudden I was like, okay, all I have to know is just God. God has got me. God has got me. I have faith. Everything's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And when I did that, it was like I started getting better. But when I wasn't doing that and I was in fear, then a lot of crappy things happened to me. So just know there's levels of devils, and they're just trying to get you to toughen up. But the other thing is, and I would say the most important thing is, and believe it or not, people think, oh yeah, I can do this, but it's the hardest thing to do. What I realized is actually loving yourself. And a lot of people on this journey were the black sheep. We were the, picked on ones, the ones that, were misunderstood and all that. And we can say, you know what, yeah, I love myself now, blah, 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 blah. And, I thought that. And God was like, no, you don't. You don't. And we need you to get there. Because if you don't love anybody, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody. And how can you walk this path that Jesus walked if you don't love? You can't pretend to love, because then you're a people pleaser. And then you're just going to give your energy to the wrong people, and they're going to take you down the wrong road, right? So just know when you're sitting there and lacking in patience, and when are things going to be good for me, and when are my blessings coming, and when is this going to come, God, And it's like, well, when you learn patience. Well, when you learn to love yourself. When you're willing to let go of the past. When you're willing to do the things I asked you to do and you didn't. Like letting go of addictions, letting go of negative thinking. I mean, it's... So if you need to know, like how I ask is I'll just say, God, universe, what do I need to let go of right now? What is blocking me? What is holding me back? And they'll show me, like in YouTube videos, they'll pop up on my home feed. They'll show me in signs and synchronicities, and I'll look them up and see, what is, whatever. One thing I learned is like cars, like if you're going throughout your day and you're like, whoa, like every single car I'm looking at is red. What the heck? There's spiritual meaning for that, right? So just know that like they're trying to give you signs, but if you don't see them, then you're not on the right path. And then you need to go back. You need to get into the word of the Bible. You need to figure out what it is you need to heal about yourself. And then just create that faith in your mind, body, and soul that everything is going to be okay, okay? And I'm here for you. I'm lonely. Everybody left me. But I have faith in you. I know that you can do this. And I'm here for you. If I can do it, you can do it too. And you can put your worries on there and I'll talk to you, I promise you. Because I know how it feels to be alone. And just know that you need to forgive those people because they just signed up to do this to you. Because this journey's hard. And these people all signed up to get you to do this because there are things that need to happen to save humanity. And you, my friend, were chosen to do this. And you can do this and you can get through it. I promise you, you can. Don't forget it.